From the Yonkers Statesman, January 19th, 1917. Headline: Switzerland fears invasion. French and Germans said to be massing on country's borders. Heavy fighting is still in progress on the Romanian front, with the Russians and Romanians apparently holding their own. Berlin today announced Russian attacks yesterday along the northern Romanian front, but declared the attacks failed with heavy losses. Indications are not lacking that the present activities on the Franco-Belgian front may not last long. The French occupy a considerable section of the Alsace fighting line touching the Swiss border between Belfort and Basel. The concentration of masses of Germans across the line from Basel recently has been reported, and a belief is said to exist in Switzerland that the Germans contemplate an offensive with the object of freeing Alsace from the invaders. The Swiss Federal Council early in the week ordered the mobilization of additional troops as a precaution. More than 428,000 officers and men were taken prisoners by the Russians during the past year, according to the Russian service organ, as published in a Central News dispatch from Petrograd today. Headline: League to Enforce Peace. Neutral nations of Europe expressed, in messages read at a dinner given in Pittsburgh last night under the auspices of the League to Enforce Peace, to consider a program for a permanent League of Nations to become effective at the close of the present war, a desire to take part in the formation of such a league. Letters from Switzerland, Spain, and Denmark, in answer to inquiries from Thomas Marburg, chairman of the Committee on Foreign Organization of the League to Enforce Peace, were read. The favorable answers from the neutral nations follow closely upon the reply of the Entente allies to President Wilson, in which 10 of the 14 countries at war jointly declared they associate themselves with all their hopes with the project for the creation of a League of Nations to ensure peace and justice throughout the world. Headline: Russian Chaos. What is going on behind the scenes in Russia can only be vaguely surmised, but the appointment of Prince Golitsyn to succeed Alexander Trepov as premier is frankly a victory for reaction. When the dispatches from Petrograd describe the situation during the last 2 months as something for which the word crisis seems entirely inadequate, they give a hint of the political chaos into which Russia has been plunged. Headline: $10 million asked for state hospitals. 1 out of every 201 persons in the state of New York is insane and under treatment in an institution, according to the annual report of the State Hospital Commission. The total number of insane patients under treatment in institutions in the state was 43,340. The Commission emphasizes the fact that the civil state hospitals are very seriously overcrowded, with an average overcrowding of 22%. In its request for appropriations, the Commission emphasizes the urgent need for additional accommodations and recommends a bond issue of $10 million. The overcrowding is aggravated by the curtailment of the activities of the Commission's Bureau of Deportation on account of the European War. The number of alien patients being cared for in the 13 state hospitals had reached the enormous total of 9,492, or practically 1 out of every 4 patients. And that's the news from Yonkers, 100 years ago, today.